Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing great and I hope that you're learning as usual. Welcome back to another video once again. And today we're back on crypto, as you can see, Bitcoin, and I'm just gonna go over something. In this market, it's very toxic, especially crypto. Um, there's a lot of just people, like standard people, that don't have much information on the markets or understand how they work. They just seeing stuff on Instagram and then they get invested and ultimately they lose their money. That is the sad truth of it. Um, but understanding how these markets really work is essential, right? So something I'm going to go over today is something that you hear all the time in this industry: buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. But it's simply not the case. You don't want to be buying the dip because what you see is you get plenty of dips. There's dips all the time. That's how the market works. It moves up and down. So there's going to be a dip everywhere. If you're buying all the dips, you're going to be down a lot of money and it's going to be a lot of stress and pain. And then when it's actually reaching a higher low, the areas we want to be buying, then you're not really going to be wanting to get into the market as much. You're not going to be as eager because you've had so much pain from losing all that money just from a lack of understanding, which is just what people have, I guess. But we're here to learn and we're here to understand. So if we just jump into it now, obviously we can see that we're bullish, and then we had this retracement down. This was the low that put in the most recent high. In fact, this was the low that put in the most recent high. So when this was broken, we shifted bearish. It's not to say that this isn't let me just go into the daily. It's not to say that this isn't a daily zone, a demand zone even here, because it is a valid zone. It's just the extreme for this leg, but this was the low that put in the high, right? So if we was to get involved here, you'd want to see a structural break. You'd want to see this broken here because it's confirmation. We're not just going to jump in and risk our hard-earned money for nothing. We want to see the confirmations. We want to be able to know that we can actually make a profit here. We're not just going to chuck our money at these markets and let them eat it up, right? So the dip, let's just have a look for a moment. So in October here, we created all-time highs. And think of the emotions in this market right now. It's going to be everyone's going to be euphoric. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, Bitcoin 100K. I remember everyone saying Bitcoin 100K, everyone. I knew this one guy who called the whole thing, everything that happened, and it literally played out to exactly what he said. And it's because he has an understanding of the markets. He actually realized how they work. So everyone's going to be like, yeah, every man and their dog are going to be buying here. But the banks are aware of this, right? So what are their intentions? Think of all the liquidity. Think of all the money, the resting orders here, the people who have stop losses here, or just money in the market. It's going to be going down and down. And ultimately, it's going to the bank's hands, really. So there's a lot of euphoria up here. And then, look, we get a dip here. People probably buying there. Yeah, it has some percentage increase, but you're just going to get spanked. You're going to lose your money. Okay, here, people might look at this as a dip. Okay, I'll buy it here. People would definitely be looking at this as a dip. Buy here. Yes, it moves up, but it doesn't break this structural high that put in this low. So you want to really see this broken. And until it does, then you don't really want to be getting involved, right? And then dip here, whatever, people are probably buying. Yeah, it comes up a bit. It does a fair decent amount in percent. But most people are just holding in this market. They're not like placing a trade and like, yeah, okay, I'll get out here or nothing like that. Like, because you could have gotten a trade here and got out here at this high right there. But people mainly just hold in this market, so they get spanked again. Dip. Okay, here now we get a dip. people are probably buying this, and yeah, we'll probably see a retracement up into this level here, and then we're gonna dip again. So don't buy the dip. You only want to buy a higher low. And how do we know it's a higher low? Well, let's just draw it out what Bitcoin's doing on a very simple basis. It did this. Well, technically, it done this. This was a low that created the high. We shift bearish, and there was a point of interest here, but we'd have to see confirmations to get involved. Obviously, there were no confirmations, so dip. People are probably buying. Comes up, people are like, yeah, it's going to 100k, it's going to 100k. Bang, get taken out. Dip. Okay, people are probably starting buying again. You get spanked. And then say we come to a point of interest in here. What we want to see is a structural high to be broken. So once we see this shift, just like we've seen here, the shift to bearish, I'll mark it out so it's clearer. Break of structure down. And same here. Until we see the structural shift, we don't want to get involved. Why? Because it's our money at stake. You don't want to be risking your money. And if you are risking your money, only risk what you can afford to risk. Don't put your whole life savings in there or nothing. Because it's not wise. Like, we need to be smart about this and make calculated moves and understand risk management and an exit strategy as well. So where would you target? You wouldn't target 100k. I mean, yeah, you could leave a certain amount on to ride up to wherever, but you want to be targeting here, the all-time high, because this is where, if it's doing simply low, high, higher, low, higher, high, it's guaranteed to come to here if it's going to go with that procedure, which it most likely is. Another thing is, when you get the break structure and you get this impulse move, a lot of people are going to be buying up here and stuff. They're like, oh, okay, it's going up. They're going to be buying up here. And then it's going to come back for the retracement and then tap into whatever it needs to tap into. And then it will go ahead and then create all-time highs. So it's all about patience. It's all about understanding structure and not being influenced by other people and their thoughts on the market, because like I said before, 95% of people lose in this market. So yeah, that was just a little video on why not to buy the dip and buy the higher low and the confirmations of a higher low being presented. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it made sense. If you need anything clarifying, be sure to let us know. And any video ideas that you'd like to see, just be sure to let us know once again. And yeah, that's it, family. So have a good day. Peace.